Russell Schindler. He's going to present H2O Investigations. Not to steal their glory. 6 years ago, we tell stories.
7 years ago.
7 years ago, true.
Okay. So in 2001, I started a company called H2O Investigation. We actually started it under the name SampleServe. And that company was a company, we started because the state of Michigan had changed regulations on how to collect an environmental sample, made it very data intensive. So I decided to start that company to specialize in collecting samples. At the same time, because there was a lot of data, I started creating software to manage that data. Well, we still do sampling. We did, most of the sampling we did was groundwater sampling, but we also sampled all these other media at the time, and we still do sampling. Fast forward to 2011, we actually had 7 offices across east of the Mississippi. We were working on the 8th office. I was going to open in Tampa Bay, and I was actually going to work down there a lot. And I was diagnosed with lung cancer. And they told me, the doctor said, there's nothing we could do. Well, clearly they were wrong as I'm standing here. But the next couple of years after that were very tough. And we consolidated back to Traverse City, closed down all those other offices because I didn't need those offices if I was going to die. And so we started focusing on software because of the health reasons and advances in technology. I started focusing on software, and I'm happy to say that the software company is actually going very well. I still spend about 25% of my time working on software or the sampling side of things, the H2O investigation. However, we just landed a big CDC project. We were selected as a software solution for 500 city sewer system COVID-19 monitoring surveillance program. So I need to spend 100% of my time on that project and other clients that we have that are onboarding with us. And so that creates an opportunity for somebody to buy the sampling side of our company. The good news is it's a growing market. There's about 150 million samples collected every year. It's expected to grow about 7% per year. And it's driven by consumer demand for safe products, safe drinking water, safe groundwater. It's also driven by environmental regulations that keep increasing. And then environmental liability, right? Product companies they want to make sure they're not going to get bad products or get sued for contaminating groundwater. And then the supply side of things is also at a little bit of trouble. It's very disjointed, not a lot of training. And the time and materials billable hour that most consulting engineering companies use just doesn't facilitate innovation or efficiency. And so for those reasons right there, the demand side increasing and the supply side having substantial problems, there's a substantial growth opportunity here that I think somebody could take advantage of. And so what we're asking for is somebody to buy the sampling side of our company, and that could be buy the whole thing, or we could still partner in some fashion. That new owner would be the operational manager of that company. We would provide all the training needed. And then we would also give you a sweetheart deal on our software as well. And so with the digital solutions, with the sampling company, there's a huge opportunity with the reporting and everything. Business model is going to be a lump sum fixed price. You could do it other ways if you wanted. And then there's also in the industry, as most industries, there's a labor shortage that means that people are looking to outsource if they can. And then tied with it is the experience and the expertise of SampleServe going forward as well. So the business strategy would be to expand existing markets, drinking water, groundwater sampling, surface water sampling, and then also expand into new markets with cannabis being legalized. There's tons and tons of cannabis sampling that are being required. And then food safety sampling is in a very big emerging market. And then expand into new locations. I did it before, it can be done again. So kind of as a rule of thumb, if the city has a Major League Baseball team, it's probably a good city to start a sampling company in and expand to. And then I would suggest, opening 3 to 4 or 5 sample locations a year. And with that, you can expect and reasonably expect 40 to 50% growth in revenue every year. And so These are current customers that are using our software, and I've actually sampled, and we still sample for a lot of these companies right here. And then these are new companies that are actually trying our software out right now, and they're going to need sampling, and so we'd be able to feed business going forward. So whoever buys that has got a good opportunity. Any questions? Boom, right on time. So does anybody have any questions? Go ahead. Yeah. So we don't do the sampling or the testing. We actually collect the sample and send it to whoever the company wants the sampling, the testing done by. So, but our software makes it all digital, so it's very efficient for reporting back. Go ahead. One of my favorite laboratories in town called SOS Analytical. Have you heard of them? It's the owner. Oh, sorry. He asked who do we use for sampling? Sorry, or for testing. Any other questions? Go ahead. You know, either one. Obviously, the onboarding, if it's just somebody doing financial, they got a little bit more of a learning curve versus somebody already in the industry. But I have taught literally 100 different people how to sample over the years, and you know, I could teach anybody in this room how to collect a sample. It's, you know, there's a little bit of time involved, but it's a process, and you know, it's pretty much the same every time. So once you got it down, it's pretty good. And that's one of the things that's lacking in the industry is like a standardized sampling. So as part of that, I would actually recommend even including like you know, very specific sampling training and even certification, because the industry really does need like a certification model in the industry. So go ahead. Well, yeah, and it could be a franchise model in expansion. You know, back in pre 2011, I actually did like a revenue share. So it was, you know, I mean, I owned the company, but they got a, you know, percentage of the revenue from their office. Go ahead. So you're going to get all kinds of field data. So a lot of times they want to take a temperature, pH, you know, other field parameters. You get photographs, you're going to get GPS, and all that is mapped instantly because of our software, and that software is included to the sampling company. You know, we'll do a licensing agreement long term. And then when the sample goes to the lab uploads the data back to our platform, and that gets added to it, and you can map all that information as well. And then there's, you know, we can do all kinds of contours, graphing, tables, color coded, you name it. Yeah, I don't actually go through it myself. The software goes through it, and it literally, you know, in a quarter second, it's posted. Yeah. And Jack sends me data almost every day. So, any other questions? All right. Oh,
Good to see you.